You have made it this far. Congratulations. You have learned the mindset traps, the planning pitfalls, the execution blunders, and the marketing blind spots. But here's the hard truth that most founders do not talk about. The biggest danger often arrives after the first success because success breeds different types of arrogance. Once you have proven the model works, once the revenue is flowing, once your team is growing, that's when the founders make the costliest mistakes. They scale too fast without systems being ready. They neglect the legal protection, thinking that they are too small to get audited. They sacrifice their health, targeting the growth numbers, and they stop learning, understanding that they have figured it out all. And slowly, almost invisibly, that business that they were growing starts to become a trap and feel like a prison. In this final part of the masterclass, we'll figure out how do you protect your success, how to grow without breaking, scale without burning out, and build something that lasts beyond you. Because building a business is one thing, but building a legacy is entirely a different game. Let us play it smart. I am Pankaj Chawla, and this is part 3 of the Ultimate Entrepreneur Survival Guide. If you haven't watched the part 1 and part 2, I recommend you should do it now, because this episode builds on what was there in part 1 and part 2. We are now on a stage where your business has traction, but not the ability to storm all the weathers, but not yet the ability to weather all the storms. This is the critical inflection point. Many founders fail here, not because they're incompetent, but because they don't know the pattern of sustainable growth. So buckle up. Next 15 to 20 minutes will change the way you think about your business. I am going to give you a strategic blueprint that separates businesses that collapse after the first good start from the ones that build the legacy and become institutions. Number 1 here is scaling too soon. The most exciting but deadly mistake in entrepreneurship is when you start scaling prematurely. You get one successful outlet, one good deal, one thriving client base, one viral moment. And then what do? You suddenly want to open 5 new branches, hire 20 people and take over the market. But here is what actually happens. Your systems break under the load. Your quality drops, your culture dilutes, and the customers who loved you suddenly start to complain that you are not the same that they started working with. Growth without readiness is just like pouring concrete on the foundation which is still settling. It looks impressive for a moment, but everything collapses soon after. Let me share a real story. I worked with a successful pizza chain in Mumbai. After 1 year of consistent sales and success, they became overconfident, saying now they have a loyal customer base, and they opened 5 different branches simultaneously. What the owner did not realize was his original outlet's success was 60% of his personal presence. He knew every customer by the name. Second, his delivery system was manual. He personally oversaw every quality. And third, his team was just 4 people who learned daily by interacting with him. But when he split his attention over 5 locations, the quality nosedived. Customer complaint tripled. Staff felt abandoned and unmotivated. By the 6 months, his 2 branches were closed. Rest 3 were just limping. He came back to me and said, I must have perfected the first location before starting the second. And the rule is exactly that. Perfect 1, then multiply the 5. Build your SOPs so clear that someone can replicate your success only after the SOP and not before that. Growth is a symptom of readiness. It is not the goal in itself. And I repeat, my dear friends, growth is a symptom of readiness and not the goal in itself. Second, ignoring legal and compliance. This one is unglamorous but critical. Most founders think that I'm too small for GST filings, employment contracts, trademarks, compliance audits, etc., and we'll handle it when we'll grow big. It is absolutely wrong. Documents are not decorations, they are your first level of defense. I have seen founders lose business not to competition but to the following: sudden GST penalties doubling their cost, a former employee claiming unpaid wages without a formal contract, a supplier suing just because there was no contract at all, a brand name issue just because they did not trademark it at all. Let me share another true story. Two friends started a manufacturing unit in Pune. First 3 years was booming business. No GST registration, thinking that they'll not clear the threshold. No formal employment contracts with the staff. No trademark for their brand name. Then one day, a larger competition registered a similar brand and starting selling in their market with that brand. The friends could not do anything legally because they had not registered their brand itself for trademark. Same year, a GST penalty notice came worth 8 lakhs. The accountant had missed the filing deadlines. Within 3 months, they were financially stressed, legally exposed, and absolutely demotivated and demoralized. The lesson is, do the compliance when you are small because it is cost effective and manageable. Don't delay it until you are big because then it will become unmanageable and expensive. Get these things done before you celebrate your first big sale. The business registration, GST registration and monthly filings, the trademark registration, written agreement with all your employees, contracts with your major clients and suppliers. The next is neglecting the health and the mind. Here is something that is rarely discussed in business podcasts. A burnt out founder builds a burnt out team, and a burnt out team can destroy a business faster than a competitor can. When you sacrifice sleep, exercise, hobby, family time in the name of building business and building your dream, you are not just ambitious, you are self-destructive. Your mental and physical health is not a luxury, it is an operational infrastructure. Think of it this way: if your computer crashes, you lose a 1 day worth work, and if you crash, you lose the entire direction. I have mentored founders who pulled 18 hours a day consistently for years and made 3 catastrophic decisions in a row. Decisions that cost them 50 lakhs. They were tired, irritable, and made decisions from desperation and not strategy. One founder I know eventually quit and recovered for 1 full year. But when he restarted with a better health and better habits, his business scaled faster than the previous one. The hard truth is, the discipline in health is discipline in business. Set these boundaries now. Fixed bedtime is non-negotiable. Exercise 3 times a week minimum. Family time 1 dinner a week without phones. A hobby unrelated to work. Could be a painting, reading, or a sports. Your team will respect you more for protecting your sanity than destroying it. Burnout is not a badge of honor, it's a warning sign. Next one is stopping to learn. The moment you think you have figured it all out, that is the very moment the industry leaves you behind. Industries evolve, consumer preferences shift, technology disrupts, and new customers emerge. The founder who stops learning becomes the business owner who is a struggling relic. I have seen it happen. A retail store who refused to go online had to see younger competition taking the market over. A manufacturing unit that did not adopt the automation and lost efficiency to the modernized competition. A consultant was stuck with old frameworks while the industry evolved. The rule to live by is schedule learning as you schedule client meetings. Make it non-negotiable. And this can be reading 1 business book a month, listening to podcasts during commute, attending industry conferences and workshops, having lunch conversations with people smarter than you, studying competitor moves and market trends. Learning isn't a hobby for successful entrepreneurs. It is a survival mechanism. While the world punishes arrogance, it rewards the regular learners. Now that you have mastered the don'ts in the entire series, let me give you 4 strategic do's for your business. And this is what turns survival businesses into successful, sustainable organizations. Number one is write your clarity statement. Every business needs one perfect sentence that defines them clearly. The clarity sentence formula is like this. We help, in quotes, specific who, achieve, again in quotes, measuring what, by a quote, unique how. You can see this on your screen. And most of the times, there are wrong ones. And I'll tell you what wrong ones are. These are too vague, like we do manufacturing consulting, it's a vague statement. We sell furniture for offices, it's again a vague statement. Or we are a digital marketing agency, it is again a vague statement. Now the right examples, and these will be very, very clear. We help Tier 2 and 3 auto part manufacturers increase their efficiency from 55% to 85% using lean methods. We design modular furnitures for startups which are under 5 lakh rupees and can be assembled in 2 hours. Or we help small manufacturers get 30% more B2B leads through LinkedIn automation. And why this works? Number one, because it forces customer specificity. There is no more everyone or anyone. Second, it defines measurable outcomes. Customers self-qualify for them. And third, shows your unique method, which differentiates you instantly. Here is your action step. You should write now. Take a piece of paper and a pen. Write your one statement. Test it on 5 different strangers. If they do not understand what you offer in this specific manner, then you rewrite. Second is systemize your top 5 workflows. If you are planning to grow, listen closely. Document your top 5 workflows before you hire a 6th person. And that is what separates systemized, scalable business from the chaos ones. Let's talk about 5 essential SOPs every business must have. Number 1, your customer journey from lead to sale to delivery and back again for the repeat business. Number 2, order fulfillment from quote to production to dispatch, smooth and consistent every single time. Number 3, financial process from invoice to payment to reporting. This keeps your cash flow always under control. Number 4, team onboarding from day 1 to a productive week 1. Your new hires should hit the ground running. And number 5 is your weekly review. Reflect on wins, identify problems, and build action plans to work on them. These 5 systems build your scale engine. Document them once, refine them often, and see your business scale like anything. Next is build your trust fortress. Trust is your unbreakable competitive advantage. The 5 trust multipliers are promise less, deliver more. Say 5 days, deliver in 3. Second is proactive updates. Call before the problem happens. Third is transparent pricing. No hidden costs at all. Fourth is ownership culture. Fix before the customer even notices. Fifth is payment discipline. Pay vendors and employees first. Next is to execute a 90-day strategic plan, which is your GPS. Your 90-day strategic plan should be divided into sections of 3 each. First action in this is to write your clarity statement. Second is to fire 3 wrong customers. Third is to update all marketing. And the fourth is test your messaging with 10 pilot customers. Week 5 to 8, which is the second phase, is to build the capability. In here, you should document 5 SOPs. You should train 1 backup for every critical role. You should automate 2 repetitive tasks. And the last is to test if your business runs 1 full week without you or not. The last section of a 90-day will be from week 9 to week 12, which will nothing but a character fortress. Here you should implement a promise less, deliver more policy. You should have a weekly trust metrics dashboard. You should pay everyone on time without any exceptions. You should celebrate 1 trust win publicly. This generally gives a guaranteed outcome where your marketing efficiency increases by 30%, the founder dependency reduces by 50%, Client retention increases by about 20% and business runs 30 days without it. Let us now look at a real story of reinvention. The story is of a person called Reena Sharma. Reena Sharma's journey as a garment manufacturer in Delhi sets a clear example of how strategic focus and process discipline can transform a struggling business into a successful, thriving, profitable enterprise. Reena inherited a small manufacturing unit in Mayapuri with 12 sewing machines, 18 workers, and a business model built around supplying garments to around 45 small wholesalers. For several years, the revenue remained in the range of 8 to 10 lakhs per month, but margins were thin at about 8%. To retain the orders, she relied on massive bulk discounts and aggressive price negotiations. Payment terms stretched to 90 days, while raw material purchases were almost on immediate payment or very little credit. This created a constant cash flow struggle and challenge to make even staff salary payments. This had then left no room for reinvestment for growth. By early 2022, the situation has reached to this crucial point that margins were negligible, workers were demotivated, and bank pressure was increasing day by day. At this stage, Reena decided to reassess her financial and business model again. The key realization was that competing with competitors purely on pricing was just non-sustainable. Instead of trying to serve small, highly price-sensitive customers, she decided to reposition her business around value and specialization. She made 3 deliberate strategic shifts. Number 1, change of customer segment and positioning. Reena exited the low-margin wholesale space and rebranded herself as a specialist in corporate uniforms with the brand Reena Corporate Uniforms. Her target market became the HR and the admin teams in the IT companies, hospitals, schools, and institutions in and around Delhi. She increased her minimum order size from a 15,000 rupee to a 2 lakh rupee just by focusing on the right clients and then building an exclusivity, a premium on quality, timeliness, and reliability. Second thing that Reena did was operational and process redesign. To support a new positioning, she created a dedicated production line for the uniforms with a clear standard operating procedure for all the critical items, like for measurement, the size chart, the fabric sourcing, the stitching standards, and even the quality checks. She organized a specialized, dedicated dispatch and delivery routine to make sure that she is delivering on time always. Each corporate client was mapped to a point of contact in her team, responsible for communication, the sample approval, and coordination. Internally, it reduced confusion and conflicts, and externally, it increased customer confidence, which then enabled predictability for the clients. The third thing that she did was systematic scaling for growth. As the new model started generating regular, bigger contracts, Reena started to look at scaling in a measurable manner. Over roughly 18 months, she increased her team from 18 to 33, shifted from an 800 square feet to a 3000 square feet facility, and signed up 25 to 30 corporate contracts, including a large annual uniform contract with a large hospital. This scaling followed rather than preceded the establishment of clear processes and client relationships. The impact of these changes was substantial. Within about 18 months, the monthly revenue increased from about 8.5 lakhs to 42 lakhs. Profit margins roughly increased from an 11% to a 38%. The client relationships became more deeper and stronger. Cash flow improved by reducing the payment cycle to about 30 days for most of the clients. Business reached a point where vendor payments, salary payments are not an issue. Reena's story illustrates several lessons which can be generally learned for any MSME and implemented in them. Number 1 is relying solely on price is not always the game to work on. Narrowing your focus on your niche gives you better profit margins and a loyal customer base. Strategic repositioning must be supported by standardized operating procedures, defining clear service roles, and disciplined delivery performance. Capacity expansion is most effective when it follows a proven demand and stabilized operations, not when it precedes them. I hope this gave you the detailed clarity of how an MSME can work out operations better with the minimal cost. Now let's move to a new 3C strategic framework. This framework ties everything together. The 3C formula plus integrity as a binding force. This is the architecture that separates thriving from the surviving ones. First C is clarity. Know who do you serve. Clarity is the anchor of strategy. Most MSMEs try to serve everyone, school, colleges, hospitals, etc. Everyone. The result is that the messaging is diluted and the profits become marginal. True clarity means knowing your customers, knowing their pain points, and not just the demographics. Understanding what keeps them awake at the night. Positioning yourself as a solution that they never knew existed at all. The second C is capability. Build repeatable systems. Capability is the engine of scale. If your success depends entirely on you, then you do not run a business. Then it is just a job with an inflated titles. Real capability means your team can deliver excellence even when you are not in the room. The quality doesn't dip when you take a weekly off. New hires can onboard smoothly because the system guides them. The third C is character. Operate ethically and prioritize trust. Character is the soul of longevity. You can have a brilliant clarity and perfect systems, but if your customers don't trust you, your business will crumble. And next is the glue, integrity, which is the multiplier. If clarity, capability, and characters are three corners, then integrity is the glue that binds them all together. Integrity is doing right even if it costs you. It is saying no to a lucrative deal just because it does not fit in your values. It's paying your teams fairly even when your profits dip. It is admitting mistakes and fixing them well. When you operate with integrity, your customers become your advocates, employees become believers, and most importantly, your competitors become irrelevant because they cannot match your game. That is the power of character at a scale. Now, last but not the least is the ultimate don'ts checklist, and I call it 21 don'ts of an entrepreneur. Let me call it out to you. Do not operate from ego. Don't wait for perfection. Don't follow trends over problems. Don't rely on motivation alone. Don't skip market validation. Don't ignore unit economics. Don't expect funding to fix flaws. Don't mix business and personal money. Don't do everything alone. Don't hire friends without structure. Don't run without systems. Don't skip metrics and measurement. Don't hide your story. Don't copy competitors. Don't ignore feedback. Don't be invisible online. Don't compete on price alone. Don't scale prematurely. Don't ignore legal compliance. Do not sacrifice your health, and don't stop learning. Entrepreneurship is like flying a plane when you're still building it midair. It's thrilling, it's terrifying, it is unforgettable. Most people see only the thrilling part, the success stories, the wealth, and the freedom. What they don't see is the terror, the late night worries, the failed experiments, the relationships strained by pressure. But here is what separates legend from the footnotes. The legends knew their traps. They don't avoid all mistakes. Nobody does. But they avoided repeating the mistake. They learned from fields, not theories alone. And crucially, they build from strategy and not just by sacrifice. I am Pankaj Chawla, and this concludes the 3-part series of the Ultimate Entrepreneurship Survival Guide. And it hopefully is a roadmap of your journey. If this series helped you see your business or your potential business with some clarity, then subscribe to the channel, share this series with your budding entrepreneurs and dreamers who would like to be on this journey to build and make their dream come true. Because the best gift that you can give to an aspiring founder is not the inspiration itself. It is the immunization against preventable mistakes. Remember, success isn't built overnight, but immunity against failure is built right now, just through awareness. Keep learning, keep building, keep scaling with strategy. Until the next time, this is Pankaj Chawla, where growth meets strategy. Stay strategic, keep growing.